Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and good morning, honorable adjudicator. Let me introduce myself. I'm Albert, as the Prime Minister, government side, and this morning in this debate, I'm gonna tell about the motion that we're gonna do that. This House believes as the first generation immigrant parent of color in predominantly white country, one more time, predominantly white country, would choose to live and raise their children in the ethnic enclave. So before we do our debate, we're going to give the parameter and state the definition about our motion today. So the first thing that we have to know about this motion is first generation immigrant. So first generation immigrant parents, that mean like in that country, the destination country, we have already our ethnic, but in family, we are the first person in our family who do the immigration. So we are the first member of the family who step in the new country. So that's the definition. And then we talk about ethnic enclave. So ethnic enclave is like a pocket of area that we live in the same ethnic. So we're not going to blend in with another ethnic, or for example, like we're Indonesian, we go into the Australia, we just stay with the Indonesian people, not blend Australian people, so like that. So the second thing that I'm going to give is parameter. The area parameter that we're going to do in our debate is America. So because in this motion, it's really highlight for the white country. So in America, we choose New York as a city because New York is one of the biggest cities that a lot of ethnic or culture stay in that city. Okay, so why us as parents has to live and raise our children in ethnic enclave? First, our children or our kids have to get or have their own cultural value. That means kids have to respect the culture and don't forget their identity. Why? Kids, as we know, kids really fast to learn and do this new one than adult. They do faster than adults. So if we just release our kids to the new culture, they will learn it fastly and they forget their own culture. They forget it, and it's not good for our country. And for example, in Manhattan, we have the biggest Chinatown in America, and in Chinatown they learn they do everything in community. They can help each other to blend in with other people, and then if we have a problem to live in a new area, we can ask the help for the same ethnic. And then, like many people want to go to study to the new country, or many Chinese people want to go to America to learn to get an education program, or maybe just for working. So when we go there and we have the kids, maybe we don't know how to raise it when they're going to school and everything, but in the same ethnic, with the same people, we can ask them to help and everything. So it's easier to live for us. And about language, that's the most important too. Even we go to another country and we do immigration, so we have to know our language. We can't forget our language. So, like the kids that I said before, kids learn everything faster than adults. We just release our kids to the school. For example, the Chinese people release their kids to in the school. They will learn English faster than Chinese. So by the time they will forget how to speak Chinese and they just can't speak English. It's not good for them because they are still Chinese. They have to know Chinese language. So. But when they rise in the same ethnic, in their same like Chinese and Chinese, they can learn English in school and they still can use their Chinese in the community. So that's the most important. It's happened to the American people too, like called black people. they have their own culture, they have their own problem. So with the same ethnic, they can help each other, they can solve their problem together. So that's really, really important to us to raise our children in the ethnic enclave. So if we are parents, I think it's really important to raise our kids in ethnic enclave. If we do the immigration, we can blend in with other social culture, but we still have to live in the same ethnic too. So as a Prime Minister and the government side, I really, really agree to this motion today that we have to raise our children in ethnic enclave if we do immigration. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you so much.
Sen.
Good morning, everyone, and to the honorable educators. My name is ANNISA LUTHFIANA, and I will be acting as the Deputy Prime Minister. So first of all, let me explain our motion again today. This House, as a first-generation immigrant parent of color in a predominantly white country, will choose to live and raise children in an ethnic enclave. So my Prime Minister before has already explained that the white country we will be focusing on is America, and the ethnic that we will be discussing about is Chinese people and the black communities. Okay, so previously the Prime Minister has said that the reasons why parents decided to raise their children in a specific ethnic community is because they want to preserve their cultural value and language, and most importantly, they want their children to be able to adapt to and to blend to the new environment. And let me deliver my argument. So, why would parents want their children to live in a place where there is only one ethnic? This is because they want their children to avoid racism. So, racism here is not only about insulting remarks or insulting stereotypes. I'm not saying that these are not harmful, because these are equally harmful, but I would like to focus on the inequality in a lot of aspects, especially in education and in workforce. In America, it is actually illegal to discriminate your workers or your employees based on their race or their skin color. However, even though there is already been a law set to limit this kind of inequal practice, there's actually a lot of cases about racial discrimination in workplace. According to officials in America, there are 100,000 reports of employees who have stated that they face racial discrimination. However, out of these 100,000 cases, only 15% are actually being handled in an appropriate way. So what do we make of this? Racism is still prevalent in this modern era. I would like to give you one specific example of Bon Appetit's YouTube channel. So Bon Appetit is a YouTube channel which focuses on taste testing of food that comes from different countries. So naturally, they will have a lot of staff who come from different racial backgrounds, such as Asian or Indian or white people and people from the black communities. However, recently, 3 of their people of color staff have called them out for unequal payment. They say that their white peers are being paid more than what they get. And Bon Appetit actually took action. They said that they want to fix this issue. They will renew their contract, and they will discuss all of the problems in their workplace so that they can make an environment where people can be treated equally. However, a few days ago, some of their staff also called out Bon Appetit regarding their new regulation. They said that the new regulation and the new contract serves no other purpose. Even the new contract is even worse than the previous one, because they get lower payment compared to the previous contract. So, as a parent, why do I want to send my children to this kind of environment where my children are not being treated fairly just because of their skin color, even though they put up just as much work as their white peers? This is of course unfair to my children. And other than that, this does not happen in workplace. This also happens in education. As we know, I want to take black people as my example. they have a very specific hairstyle which are very curly in nature. So they will use hairstyle which are natural for them, like braids or cornrows. However, these hairstyles are actually banned in several schools in America. Why, you might ask? I don't know myself, because hairstyles do not contribute anything to the education. Hairstyles do not affect education in any way, right? So why would they ban this? Of course, this is because of racism. So, once again, as a parent, why would I want my children to be discriminated just because of their hairstyle and their skin color? Most importantly, as an immigrant parent, the main reason we want to move or to immigrate to a white country is because we want to find a better life. We want to have the opportunity to build a better life for our family. However, if we have to face discrimination in employment and in education, then there's no such thing as better life. It could even become worse. Hence, I believe that immigrant parents do not want to live actually in an enclave community. They do not want to do it on purpose. This is because they want to avoid the negative impacts that their children might face. So let me conclude all of our arguments. So first of all, we as a government team are in support of parents raising their children in an ethnic enclave in a predominantly white country. First of all, this is in order to preserve their cultural value and their language, and in order to help them to blend and to adapt to a new environment. And most importantly, this is because they want to protect their children from discrimination based on their race and skin color. I think that's all from our team. Thank you. And